Hey, what's up? John here, Chief Motivator over at Method 3 Fitness, and I'm here for another digital learning experience. This one on all about how to improve the way you eat. And I'm joined by Miss Toni Julian. How are you doing, Toni?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm terrific, thank you. Of ToniJulian.com and the creator of Toni Julian's High Protein Meals. And today we're going to talk a little bit about really Toni's background, kind of what she's developed with some of the great nutritional products that she has, and how it really has an amazing role to play with regulating your blood sugar, performance, and fat loss. And so I'm sure you're all very interested in all three of those things because it's all going to be something that's going to help you really not just achieve your goals, but live a healthier and more sustainable lifestyle. So that being said, Toni, I'd love if you just give a little bit more of a background on who you are, what you do, and how ToniJulian.com kind of came about.
Oh, absolutely, sure. Thank you. So as you mentioned, I'm in the nutrition area, and I'm a nutrition and a fitness expert, has been for about maybe 12 years or so now. And I really started out just wanting healthy solutions for myself, 4 kids, 2 businesses, 3 dogs, fortunately just 1 husband, right? I had a really busy, time-impacted lifestyle. And what happened is one of my friends got sick, and so I decided I would change careers to get into the nutrition and fitness business a little bit ago. She passed, and I was sick also, but I ended up coming through it just fine. But it just really hit me that if we don't take good care of ourselves, then eventually it catches up with us. So I changed careers, really helping people is my passion. So I got into nutrition, certified nutrition and fitness coach, personal trainer. I wrote a couple of books, and I just really immersed myself in as much as I could about how can we make sustainable changes. So it's great to go on a diet, it's great to step up your game, but how do you make changes that you can implement for your entire life and that's sustainable, right? So that sustainability.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many people go on things and off things, but really to make that impact, we have to have that consistency, which means it's part of our lifestyle.
Absolutely. Yep. And that's, you're obviously now understand already in a few short minutes there why she's on with me today, because everything we talk about at Method 3 is all about, yes, you want to improve the way you move and the way you eat and the way you think, but in doing so, we're trying to create the habits and the actions behind those things that are going to not only help you achieve your goals, but help you maintain it for the long haul, right? Because all this great stuff with fitness and nutrition, yes, it's so we can look good and feel even better, but it's so that we can do that for years to come, right? Take care of ourselves, prevent disease, right? All these things that, you may think, oh, it's okay if I have this or drink this or do this or not work out. And in the day or the week, maybe it's okay, but now compound that over the years, and that's when the problems start to occur. So tell me more about then, as you kind of got into this, you obviously, I think you were in a couple figure competitions, was it? Yeah. And
yes.
If I know you're never supposed to ask a lady her age, but would you share when you did those?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So I did 2 figure competitions, and really for me it was not so much about how I look, but because of coming out of being sick, I thought, oh, this is icing, right? And I was really shy. So, in the bikini and the stilettos up on stage with my legs shaking. It pushed me way out of my comfort zone. So it taught me, look, just push yourself. You're not going to die. It's okay.
Yeah.
But really, I did this because I just wanted to be as healthy as I could be. And so I actually just logged everything I ate for a while and just really figured out the balance of healthy nutrition, and did natural competitions, not anything with steroids.
Yeah.
I was almost 50 at the time.
Wow.
And came in tied for first place in Bikini Diva and also figure. And I did that in a really short period of time, and it taught me so much. I mean, I learned so much about you can eat, really healthily all week, and then on the weekend you have a cheat, and that does impact you. Like, don't cheat, don't be a cheater, be faithful to your meal plan, right? Don't be a cheater. And so, I just learned so much out of it, so it really helped me in my ability to coach other people. But what I was able to do, just gives you an idea of the food alone, the food impact, is I did resistance training about 3 hours to 4 hours a week, so hit all the body, major muscle groups, thank you. And then my food was absolutely spot on. And when it was, what I did in 8 weeks is I lost 14 pounds of fat in 8 weeks, and I gained 6 pounds of lean. So most doctors will tell you you can't gain lean and lose fat, like gain lean when you're at a deficit, but I did. So there's this sweet spot of where you have your nutrients and your calories and your food quality, and your sleep has to be spot on, right?
A lot of factors that you dialed in very well, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I dialed them in because I'm right and left brain. I'm very creative, but I'm also very analytic. So I use that analytic side to okay, how do I pull this apart and really understand, how our bodies work, and every body is completely different. So how my body reacts may be different than somebody else's, of course.
Well, and the neat thing is, obviously the discipline you had to do all that. I mean, you achieved great results in a short amount of time. Even if people watching this, even if that time is double, it's 16 weeks, those are still substantially great numbers to achieve. So while Toni had amazing discipline to get to this figure competition and do these various things that maybe as you're watching this, you're like, oh, I don't know if I have the strength or the willpower to do that. That's okay if you don't. Like, you don't have, this was a challenge for herself, kind of like I'm here right now after being sick, and you know what? I'm gonna challenge myself to the opposite end of the spectrum and see if I can do it. So just an internal challenge that she had for herself. And I think for those of you watching, it's what do you want? What is your challenge for yourself? What shape do you want to get into that you feel comfortable in your skin, right? Because it's achievable as long as you're making the changes that you want to. And I think Toni's example is, doesn't matter what your age is, right? Your body can change and adapt whenever you decide you want to do it. And it's a lot of other factors that we talk about through various blogs, and people know, but it's good to hear from someone else, right? It's like a parent. So,
always.
And you mentioned sleep, you mentioned the nutrients. So, and it's all the resistance training. It's all these factors, not just one thing, right? Obviously, the nutrition is going to play a big role. So let's dive into a little bit of that. Along this journey, you started kind of playing a little bit more with just, okay, well, when I have these cheat meals or bad meals, and you're still allowed to have a cookie or a piece of pizza every now and then, everybody, don't freak out on me here. We're about a sustainable lifestyle. Toni's specific example is she was training for a competition, right? Very different. But in essence, she kind of learned how to train, I think, for life in that regard. So just something to think about. But along this journey, you kind of found out that certain foods affect you differently and really have an impact on your blood sugar. And that related to your performance, but also just general weight loss, fat loss, or not, right?
Exactly.
Okay, and what did that lead you to? You started kind of creating some of your own things, correct?
Yeah, I did. What I learned is that, when we eat for satiability. So if our brain doesn't tell our stomachs that we're full, we're going to keep grazing, right? And so to me, it was like simple carbohydrates was like the biggest thing that we do. If we drink wine just by itself, the way we metabolize it, if we have a bagel by itself, the way we metabolize that, right? And so I think that sets us up for issues where where blood sugar is not regulated. So I think ideally we want to be in this nice even sweet spot where our blood sugar is stable during the day, and that's small meals, balanced macros. And what happens when our bodies aren't stable, and you probably, as listeners, you probably have felt this. If you eat something that's a pure carbohydrate, it may taste good going down, but then you don't feel so great after. Or maybe it'll keep you full for an hour, but then you're hungry an hour later. Even an apple, which is really healthy and great, you eat just an apple, it's a good carbohydrate, but it's a pure carbohydrate, so it's going to metabolize really quickly, and then you'll be hungry again. So for me, what I was realizing is, why don't I develop something that keeps our blood sugar stable? What are the macronutrients that do that? And then I was thinking, okay, and then what are all the diseases out there? And what are all of the nutritional recommendations for disease? So if you have like arterial sclerosis, they say high fiber. If you have whatever issues, or diabetes, small meals, balanced out.
A little bit less sugar if possible, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So all those things I just started looking at and realizing that, okay, if we can balance our macros during the day, not only does it keep us full so we're not snacking, right, and eating the wrong things, or eating the wrong things because it's convenient rather than, okay, what's really good for me right now? It's like I'm really hungry, I'm just going to grab whatever is there,
bagel or what,
or fistful of Cheetos or fistful of nuts or whatever it is, and they're not always like optimal for us. So what I was learning is that unless we're in that that even blood sugar regulation, we're either storing fat if we have too many carbohydrates, or we're losing muscle if we if we
decrease too low, basically.
go, yes, exactly, go too low or wait too long between meals. So I just started researching that. So then I started developing foods based on that concept of blood sugar regulation.
Awesome. And the macros, so you guys know, we get into our lingo, is macronutrients is your proteins, your carbohydrates, your fats, correct?
Exactly.
What you're referring to? Okay,
yes,
great.
Yes, yes.
So as you kind of dove into that, what specific things did you find? Because I think you actually just started experimenting and creating your own foods, right?
I
Yeah,
did.
I love it. That's it. Yeah, you got a pain point? I'm going to solve it myself. Yeah, I don't see anything out there that I like. I'm just going to make it.
That's exactly
So
right.
what did you start making then that you found through obviously some testing as well, you found out had some great success?
Yeah, exactly. So I started making a balanced protein meal. And so, every person that's into weight training, we take our oats and we take, protein powder, we mix it together and it makes this nasty mash that we eat or chug down because we know that that's kind of what we're looking for. So I kind of started along those lines and I just thought, oh, this just tastes like sawdust. It's terrible. So I started just really just delving into different flavors, and so now what I've done is, after coaching people for a really long time, and it takes time to learn, right?
Yeah.
Is that rather than teach people and rely on that solely to provide a product that they could just be their go-to when they're in that pinch.
Yeah.
So I developed their hot and cold protein meals, and their 18 grams of protein, which is what most everybody needs.
This is the coconut blueberry. I've already had it. It's delicious.
That's why I picked that one.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So tell us more about this, because this is kind of what we talk about, and our belief as well is that, if you can create balanced macronutrients in meals or snacks, and then you're giving your body adequate time but not too much in between, you not only do you have the best of all worlds, you create the sweet spot, like you said, where you're able to lose body fat, maintain or gain lean tissue, and you're experiencing less blood sugar crashes because it's regulated, and not only your performance but your energy is optimized, right?
Definitely.
So what did you, as you kind of created this, you had a lot of trial and error, and then you actually were able to test this with some athletes as well, and that's kind of what they experienced, right?
I did, because all of my clients kept telling me, oh, it keeps me full for 4 hours or 5 hours, depending upon their size. And
Sure.
You would get less out of it.
Right.
You need two of those, as you
that
said,
too. Yeah.
right? But really, people just started coming to me and saying, hey, this is keeping me full. And then I found for myself, yes, I get 4 hours out of 260 calories, basically. So we worked with a Stanford nutrition specialist, and she was a physician who did research. And she offered to write the protocols for a performance trial. And we actually studied this. We had what was it? It was 20 elite runners, male runners, on a track for 3 solid weeks. And what we did is we had them eat their own go-to race meal, and sometimes it was like peanut butter and a banana, or it was just a carb, or just a protein,
Cup of coffee,
or just a fat coffee, mimosa the night before.
Right. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So we had them write it all down, so I was able to compare. Okay, they ate this same amount of calories, and we compared it with this. So it was a blind trial. So the first time they ate their own meal, and the second and the third races they ate, Toni's protein meals. And what we found is that it helped regulate their blood sugar. It kept them satiated, but more importantly, it gave them performance endurance. So they did a 3-mile run and then a 1.5-mile run in the same 4-hour period. What we found is that they actually improved their performance on that last leg, which is the hardest. It's like 3-4 hours after eating it.
Right.
And they actually got a 2.6% improvement performance endurance.
Awesome.
It was
That's
great.
Incredible. Yeah.
So what that taught me is that for everybody, it helps not just with our physical body and giving us the nutrition that we need and the right balance of, protein, complex carbs, healthy fats, but it helps with our cognitive abilities too, because, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you've eaten lunch at noon, and then you start getting sleepy. Your blood sugar's not regulated.
Right.
So this taught us, like, boy, it really is showing us that it metabolizes slowly. It stays in your system. So if you want to use it for sports performance, or if you want to use it for weight loss, keep satiated, then it works in both of those worlds.
Beautiful.
For sure.
Beautiful. And that's one of the reasons that we love. They taste great. So you've got these high performance meals that are hot water and go, right?
Exactly.
Yep, beautiful.
Yes.
And then there's some, what do you call the
They're
bars
meal
as
bars.
well? Meal bars.
Meal
Yeah,
bars.
right, yeah. Also delicious, great amounts of fiber and protein, and really trying to balance out those protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Minimal sugar, great fiber. everything really to not just maximize, it's everything you just said, which is kind of why we promote looking at some of this and just not mindlessly grabbing stuff, but being mindful when you are trying to, plan a little bit. I know I said the P word there, but plan a little bit of what you're going to eat so that you're actually getting these nutrients that are really going to fuel your body. And the cool thing is that, the effects of when you start to change what you're eating and to the right things with the right balance, it's almost immediate. I mean, it's not like, oh, I got to wait X amount of time to feel this. It's pretty immediate. You'll feel performance increases. You'll feel probably more energy, probably less of that crash, around 3 o'clock and things like that. And it's not going to really stretch you outside of your comfort zone too much. So that's awesome. I think just to know that there's great products like this that exist out there that really do. And I love it's not just you're saying it. It's you're talking about it. You use yourself as a test subject, right?
I did.
And then you had researchers from Stanford and elite runners tested as well. So this is proven. And what I want you guys to get from this, you guys are watching, is that Toni's products are awesome, especially for convenience to be able to have, a proven and tested, and really good quality food source to go to. But it's also, if you can continue to create those same types of meals and snacks for whatever you need your eating lifestyle to be, that you can experience the same benefits. So this has been terrific. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add?
John.
So ToniJulian.com, we'll have some of the information in the notes below the video. Anything else you want to add at all, Toni?
Just for your peeps,
Yes.
just wishing you the best, and don't give up, and every little thing that you do does matter. And get your sleep, have a positive mindset, keep coming to Method 3, and be healthy, be well. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today, and Toni, thank you for joining us.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.